All right, Expert 97 is back this week with another episode, and I'm back with Cyclops to do a review. Will it hold up to the rest of the episode? Stick around and let's find out. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the internet. Welcome to my channel. It's me, Odio. We're back for another review, and this week it's episode 6 of X-Men 97. I've watched them all, and I've thought they've all been pretty awesome. This week's episode is pretty good as well. It's a little bit different, but I really enjoy it. We're getting some big callbacks this episode, so pretty excited. Let's get into it. So it starts off, as all X-Men episodes should. It's a sweeping backdrop, an epic battle in the sky. It's actually a space battle. There's a cacophony of color and characters, explosions, lasers, giant spaceships with deck beams and lasers and explosions and superpowered people flying through the air. Yeah, it's the Shi'ar and the Kree, and they are at war having a big old fight in the space. It's awesome. And you see Deathbird coming in. That's Empress Lilandra's sister, and she's coming in with the Imperial Guard, and they are attacking. Oh, it's great to see. The Kree are fighting back. They've got their ships. They're always overconfident, and Ronan the Accuser is there. He's from Guardians, but he's in cartoon form now. And she just burst into his ship. It's awesome. There's a big sweeping battle. You see the Imperial Guard come in. Gladiator's with them. He was great to see. He was just smashing people up. It was a really good fight. A lot of characters get in there. There's a giant guy there. I forget his name, but you get to see a whole bunch. And there's a fight in space. Laser guns. Really, really interesting, especially like for X-Men. Normally you're at the mansion and stuff, but I mean they have gone into space. There's been lots of episodes like that, so we're getting another one. So it was really great to see the fight. Ronan is fighting off with Deathbird. They're squaring off with her, and he's overconfident. But Gladiator just comes in and smashes him in the side. And they want to know where the Supreme Intelligence is, and they threaten. They're like, "We're going to kill all your men. Only way you're going to get out of this is if you let us know where the Supreme Intelligence is," which he definitely doesn't want to do. But wait, there's an interruption. What's this? Oh my, it looks like it's her sister, the Empress, Lilandra. She's got a message for the share. So instead of finishing off Ronan and getting information, she's basically listening to this announcement. And it turns out that she's chosen someone she's going to marry. And it turns out that all those, in the other episodes, they lent some help to the Terrans, humans, us. Charles Xavier, and now he's actually stolen her heart. Oh, and he's alive. Oh my goodness, what? And he's walking in this golden suit. It's great. And he's like, "Hey guys, hey everyone," and he tries to sound like, "Hey, I'm proud to be here, great to be on the team," type thing. They're not going to accept a Terran right away, right? Which is pretty obvious. You can tell from the reactions. But anyway, great to see him back. He doesn't use his powers or anything right away, but I mean, he's walking. He's in that suit. It's really cool. And she's obviously in love with him. So, in the old episodes, this is kind of where he went, right? So it's just great to get him back. So they kind of go through they're in the Shi'ar place. They're going through these fantastic gardens. The visuals in this episode are like some of the best you're going to see. Like, she's just like throwing these gold things out. Flowers are blooming. Just like the space battle. It's just great art. So much color in it. It's really a lot of fun to see. Anyway, they're talking about their love and how they're getting together and how, he does miss Earth and kind of wants to go home, but she has an empire to run, and Earth is like not the biggest, most important place. So she has a lot more important places to be, right, in her mind, right? But he wants to go back to the X-Men and things like that. He sort of feels like he abandoned them. She kind of says, you've earned your own life. Like, you did a lot of things for them, and you did fight for them for years. You fought against oppression, so you've earned a break. She kind of likes that he accepts her for who she really is as well. So it's a good matchup for her. So she's quite happy. And then we cut away from them and we get back to another one of my favorite characters. Well, two. Actually, two of my favorite characters. And that's Storm and Forge. Yes, at last, back to them. So we head on back to a cabin where Storm is taking care of Forge. He's injured because this is Lifeblood Part 2, Episode 6. So it's continuing on from the last Lifeblood episode with Motendo and Jubilee. But anyway, she's there with Forge, and he's injured bad. It's like a demon bite. It looks pretty gross, kind of like that one in Lord of the Rings with the Morgoth plate. But he's hurt bad, so she's trying to heal him, make him feel better. And the adversary, that giant crow, is torturing her, putting her in small places and stuff because she's claustrophobic. Like it even makes a mention she doesn't fear death, but it knows what she does fear, and it collects fear, so it keeps getting her. And then anyway, even though Forge is injured, he gets up, grabs a magic book. It's his mom's book. Starts casting spells and drives the adversary away, almost into like I don't know, almost like to another zone or something. It just kind of folds away. And she's like, "Oh, thank you so much." And he realizes he's going to die. And she's like, "Is there anything I can do to help?" And there is. There's going to be a quest. She has to go find this cactus, which has magical properties. And it grows in a cave where the sun doesn't shine. It doesn't need that. It needs darkness. So they have to go find it there. And he's going to come too because he's really injured. But she's like, no, I'll go get this alone. You can't go. You're too hurt. He's like, "I don't have much time left. I don't want to, die alone," basically. She's like, "Okay, then let's go together, my love." So they go on a little quest. It's fun. So while they're going off on a little adventure, Xavier has his own little adventure in court, but not as much fun, really. So he he gets there, and they go in and they start talking, and they reject the fact that a human is going to be there. They say he's got a backwards planet. They can have him. They even introduce him as a concubine. He's like, "I sound like your pet." Yeah, I kind of like that. But he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to denounce his planet and all this stuff, right? But he's not trying to, make them defend Earth or anything like that. They're in love, right? Empress loves him and he loves her. So Deathbird comes in, Liliana's sister, and she issues a challenge that if he wants to actually marry her and be the emperor, that he has to get a memory wipe and have all his memories of Earth wiped and gone so that he will never betray the Empire, the Shi'ar Empire for Earth. And everyone's like, "Yeah, do that." And I was like, "What? No, that's like, why would he do that? He would like forget how to do half the stuff he knows how to. He'd forget everything. He wouldn't even be him." But anyway, he's like saying, "I'm not going to do this." And he goes back and he's thinking about it. And he's actually talking to Gladiator, who kind of reminds me of Magneto in this moment when he's talking to Xavier. And he's saying like how, you should sacrifice some, for the good of the many type thing. Kind of like, to have a united front. And Charles is like, what's the point to have a united front if we have to just delete the other side? It's like, exactly, right? Like, that's not a united front. That's just getting rid of the other side. So then the Empress comes and she says too, like, they will not let us get married if you don't do this. And, this could be a way for Lady Deathbird to try to get control because I'd have to step down to marry you. Like, we don't want that. That could be chaos. And he's like, "Okay, well, if you really want me to do it, you've done so much for me. Give me a second chance. I'm gonna do it." And I was shocked. I was like, "What?" And then it cuts away though, and we get to go on the adventure. Oh yes. So Storm and Forge are riding on horseback, and they're checking out the land. They are they're on the way to look for the mountain to find the cactus that doesn't need the sun. Woohoo! So they can defeat the adversary and heal Forge's wounds. So as they're going, it's cool that you get to see some nice backgrounds and things. You get to see some environments that you don't always get to see. Then you see the giant, I think it's called Snowcap Mountain. And obviously you see how big it is. It's going to be in there. So they approach and they're going into these caves and they're going to start looking for the cactus. And when they get in there, Forge is pretty much, he's done. He's pretty low on energy. He's dying. So he kind of gets laid down and Storm's like, she's like, "Well, why did you even come?" And he points, "Because it's in there." And it's like this little tiny shaft. I've been caving before. It is a claustrophobic experience, especially when it's like really tight and you got to get through there and like you can't see how long it's going to be tight. It's cool. It's a lot of fun. I'd recommend it, but if you're claustrophobic, probably not the best thing to be doing. So Storm hesitates, but she knows she has to do it, so she does. She goes in there and starts pulling herself along like it's like the size of an air vent, basically looking for the cactus. So as she's pulling herself through there, the adversary comes because it's her fear, right? And he's just like that big old crow is like just torturing her, like pretending like she's just all around nightmarish. You got to watch it for yourself. The animation is cool. You see some scary images and like just drawing on her fears, right? And as she's still going forward, trying to get to the cactus, he even like offers like, "Do you want to get out of here now? I'll just let you go." And she's like, no, she's keeping going to get the cactus because she has to try to save Forge. So then, while that's going on, Xavier is going to get his memory wiped. And the only one that can do it is the Empress, Liliana, because she has the psychic power to do it. And she's starting it. They're doing a whole ritual, asking him questions like, do you denounce this? Do you agree to this? And when they say, like, do you denounce your X-Men? He won't do it. He's just not going to do it. So they're like, this is never going to work. We can't erase his memory. And then out of nowhere, Deathbird's like, that's it. We need to take out the queen or the Empress. We need to stop her. And the Empress is like, that's sedition. Arrest her. And when she says that, Deathbird actually attacks the Empress, tries to hit her, but Gladiator's there, so obviously she's not getting at she's not getting at the Empress. Gladiator comes in this scene too. It's great. Another cool fight scene. He is a beast in this show. He's attacking everyone. He's knocking guys off bridges. You get another really cool scene where the two factions are going at it against each other, like the Empress and Deathbird. It's almost like she's trying to overthrow the Empress, right? So it's pretty exciting. I like it. It was one of the better scenes in this, and you get to see some fighting. So overall, great, but also very chaotic. They're basically destroying the place. So Xavier finally, he hasn't done anything. He uses his powers up. He's like, wait a minute, fine. I need to use my best ability. He puts his hand on his head, and all of a sudden, boom, pulls everyone into an astral plane classroom. I was like, what? Then it cuts away, and we go back to finish the adventure with Storm. Now, Storm is back in that dark cave, and she's feeling pretty claustrophobic. But she then, she realizes when she's dealing with the adversary that, the machine, it might not just be the machine that's causing her not to use her powers. It could also be her. And then she, in the dark, you start to see the Storm coming outside and it's all building. And I'm like, yes, bring back Storm. Give her powers. And you see it getting stronger and the wind starts coming. And the adversary's like, no, don't do that. Believe the lie. You don't have powers. Believe that. It's easier. You can live this way. It's easier for you. And she's like, no. Lightning comes in and then her powers are back. There's a big old explosion of power. Oh, it's awesome. You see lightning smashing down, and the wind is like a tornado in there, and the adversary has no answer. He just basically gets blown away, and then you see she grabs the cactus. And then she goes and makes, I don't know, cactus paste, whatever she got to make to heal Forge. And she's rubbing it on his shoulder, and he's like healing and getting better like really quickly. And he's like, what are we going to do now? Should we go off and take that vacation you were talking about, go to an island? And she's like, I don't know. And then she turns on the TV and she sees what happened to Genosha. And they're talking about how some of them can't go back to their countries and things like that. And it's obviously it's a disaster. And Storm's like, oh no, like she's gonna have to come back to the X-Men, right? So which is great. She got her powers back. I want that. Let's do this. Storm is back. We're gonna see some awesome scenes with her. Give me the lightning. It's gonna be great. And then we're back in the classroom, and we're learning that Xavier doesn't like the Shi'ar Empire. He said they basically take over. They go in and they'll cut off civilizations at the knees, go in, offer them help, and they're really like, assimilating them in and taking all the best parts of them and making them join, right? So it's a high price to pay, he says, and that's how they maintain their power, and that's where they're the strongest empire, And they all agree, like, yeah, pretty much, yeah, might is right. And he's like, yeah, that's a terrible way. We shouldn't have to think like that, because Charles has a more, egalitarian way of thinking of things, right? He has a better way, rather than taking over and subjugating people. Why not share? It will be a lot better for everyone. There'd also be a lot less death. Xavier's much more eloquent than myself, so listen to him say it. But yeah, basically that's what he does there. And all of a sudden, you see everyone, like a giant pink light just burst in, and all of a sudden everyone's dead. There's all just skeletons everywhere, and a gigantic 10-foot Gambit shows up, or I guess I'm saying 10 foot. It's more like 100 foot. It just goes way up in the sky, and then he just dies too. He becomes a skeleton. And Xavier's on the ground like, no, my X-Men, you were drinking wine and partying and dancing. What's happening? It's like he's getting some sort of psychic reasoning to know they're all dying or they're in trouble or something like that. Like he knows something's happened. So he comes out of that and everyone just wakes up like, oh goodness, what's going on? Xavier's like, I have to go back. Like while I've been up here playing around in space, like the worst stuff has happened back home. And then the Empress Liliana's like, you can't just leave. Like I need you. If you leave, then everything they say will be proven true. He's like, if me going back to help the people I care about like ruins our little dalliance, then so be it. He's like, I have to go. It's like, something bad is coming, right? Because he knows something bad's coming. He's going back. And then it actually cuts to a scientist named Oliver getting chased by someone. He's like, please leave me alone. I gave you my DNAs for Master Mold. And then you see it's Mr. Sinister back again. This time he's not making a clone of Jean Grey. He's getting that Oliver guy. And he says Genosha was just the beginning. Their plans are now going to be forming. So... oh, it was great. Pretty cool episode. There wasn't a lot of different X-Men in it, but I really loved the scenes in space at the beginning. The cinematography was great. It was super interesting to see the different aspects up in space with the Shi'ar Empire. Xavier coming back. Big win. Storm getting her powers back on her little adventure at Forge. Big win. I love Storm. She's going to be back in the mix now. And Mr. Sinister coming back. I mean, he's not on the good guy team, but hey, I like seeing him back too, right in the mix. So getting really interesting now. It was a great episode. Like I said, again, strongly recommend this for anyone who likes the old X-Men show or watched it when you were younger. Some of the better action scenes here, but overall, not a whole lot goes, but we are going to get some characters back. So excited to see where it goes from here. But if you watch this far, honestly, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate that. Hope you like and subscribe. And thanks for your time. And stay out of trouble, everyone.